they're acting. You know, sometimes they say it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it, and that's true. This is our first of many GOTV rallies for candidates all across the country. And I wanted to start in Akron, Ohio. You're in a very unique circumstance. Akron, Canton, and a whole bunch of other counties that represent and make up Ohio District 13. This district happens to be one of the most competitive districts in the country. So the media and the journalists say. And you have a candidate in Emilia, Sykes, who's really representative of a new, bold, progressive type of governance that this country so desperately needs and requires. You know, it's not often that I'm impressed with politicians, but Emilia Sykes is very impressive, and I'll tell you why. To be so young and already so accomplished, that's kind of impressive. Now, Emilia Sykes is the minority leader of the Democrats in the state Senate in Ohio. And you know, the Republican Party, the opposition party, usually has some type of critique of the Democrat Party. They're opposite parties, so that's understandable. So when Emilia Sykes became a state senator, you would have thought that they would criticize, or maybe an issue or a policy. No. This is how misogynistic, sexist, and plain old racist they were. They didn't have one criticism of Emilia Sykes in terms of policy. Maybe they did. But their biggest criticism of Emilia Sykes when she was elected was they said that she wasn't state senate material because of the way she dressed. Look, I'm telling you, if you want people to actually represent you and do something positive for a change in Washington, you gotta send new types of people. And Emilia Sykes fits that category perfectly. She has new ideas, fresh perspectives, and well, she's going to represent her community because she never forgot where she's from. You know, a lot of times politicians on both sides of the aisle sometimes and oftentimes forget where they come from. Emilia Sykes makes it clear that she's an Akron hometown woman who never forgets about the residents and the community of Akron. And now she's running to represent the district at large. This is a swing district, meaning it's very competitive. It could go either way. And you know, recently, the Republican Party has poured $3.7 million into the district. All to run salacious attack ads against Emilia, saying that she's extremist, she's this and she's that. But the people of Akron, Canton, and a lot of those townships, they've met with Emilia Sykes. They know her. They know her character. And the advertisements that you're going to start to see very soon doesn't fit what the community already knows about Emilia Sykes. She's a fighter for the community. That's it. Now, the Republican candidate who's running against Emilia Sykes, I'm going to be honest, I don't really know a lot about her. What I do know is the people and the issues she chooses to, well, equate herself with. She attended the lunatic from Mar-a-Lago's rally yesterday. She stood next to J.D. Vance, who's openly said he doesn't think the women should be allowed to get a divorce, even when they're going through domestic violence and abuse in a relationship. She stood next to a person J.D. Vance said was America's Adolf Hitler. Now, I don't know how you go from being America's Adolf Hitler to now Jesus Christ. I don't know how you do that. Somebody's going to have to ask J.D. Vance. And they're going to have to ask Madison, who's running against Emilia Sykes. Does she agree with this kind of nonsense? This lunacy? And then ask yourself this. It's a choice. You got to do the comparison. You got Emilia Sykes. She's going to codify Roe. She's going to codify same-sex marriage. She's going to stay out of your OBGYN office. She's going to make sure that your pharmacies continue to sell you contraceptive medication. That's a choice. She's going to make sure the unions have a right to organize at their jobs. She's going to support the PRO Act, which I would add, not a single Republican in the House or the Senate supports. That's why it hasn't passed. Emilia Sykes is going to get that done. Elections are about choices, Akron. Who do you want to represent you? Your community? Who has your values? When Jalen Walker was brutally murdered in Akron, Emilia Sykes could have done the politically correct thing and not even mention it. Because it kind of can pull communities apart to talk about policing and systemic racism in our system and in our country. But she acknowledged the fact that a community where she grew up in still has issues, systemic issues that need to be rooted out. Did her opponent even acknowledge that something tragic and major happened in that district? No, she didn't, to my knowledge. You know, you're never going to agree with your leaders on everything. They have to make tough decisions. But how you know someone has leadership capabilities and qualities is that they make those tough decisions regardless of blowback, criticism, and opposition. This is a choice. And you have a really solid candidate in OH-13. Emilia Sykes is really a solid, good individual who will get to Washington, D.C. and represent that district extremely well. She'll make you proud. And in this moment in time in our country's history, you want a candidate who's going to make your district proud. So when you go and vote this November, I want you to remember that Emilia Sykes is going to make your district and your communities proud. She's not going to stand with someone who's a fascist. She's not going to support someone who says that, well, women shouldn't be allowed to divorce because they're just too irresponsible. This is important, Hackman. This is important, OH-13. This is really fundamentally important. Do you want to go way back to a country where certain people had no rights, no liberty, no justice? Or do you want to move forward into a future where we can build this country back better with everyone, liberty and actual justice for all? Emilia Sykes is going to work to build back this country, to make it a more perfect union. Recently, I just heard that Melinda French, who is the ex-wife of Bill Gates, said that we need more women in politics, especially women of color. I couldn't agree more. We definitely do. And Emilia Sykes fits that description to a T. So you gotta get it done, Canton. You gotta get it done, Akron. North Springfield, I'm looking at you. Clinton, I'm looking at you. You gotta get it done. Send someone who's community-minded, who cares about all of the constituents, and not just representing a handful of people. Because we've done that. We've tried that. And it hasn't worked so well. Please vote. Please get involved. If you can't contribute money to Emilia Sykes, you know what you can do? You can send postcards and letters. You can go and knock on doors. You can text your friends. You can make phone calls. You can get a yard sign. There's a whole host of things we can all do to ensure that we send Emilia Sykes in November to D.C., a community-driven individual who never forgot their roots, and who's going to ensure that the community and the constituents she represents get what's fairly theirs. That's a big deal. Because you have a lot of people in that district that don't feel like they've ever been represented. A lot of people say that for the first time, because Emilia Sykes is running, they feel hope. They feel heard. They feel validated. It's easy enough for conservatives to dismiss people's feelings. But it's a fact that certain communities in that district have been neglected. That certain constituents have not been listened to. And one thing that I really like about Emilia Sykes is that she listens to everyone. Even if she does not agree with it, she hears you out, and she seeks to find consensus. That's why the Republicans didn't have a legitimate argument against Emilia Sykes when she was elected. Their only argument was with her dress. It's time to step up, OH-13. It's time to step up, act ready, and ensure that Emilia Sykes gets elected. I'm going to do everything I can. I contribute. I'm going to write letters. I'm going to make phone calls. Nothing I tell you is anything beneath me to do. It's time to step up and really send people to D.C. who are going to get things done for this country. Emilia Sykes is going to get things done for America. To make that district and its people healthier, wealthier. She's going to do it. I can feel it with every fiber of my bones. We just got to get her over the finish line. And it's going to be tough. You might start hearing some very nasty things about your hometown woman. But Akron, you know her. Canton, you know her. North Springfield Township, you know her. Don't buy the bullshit.